First off, I want to say thanks for everyone. I know the year is wrapping up. We appreciate you joining us, and really excited to share a little bit of brief history of some of the products we built, as well as go into something we're going to be announcing tonight in hopes that Q1 next year it'll be ready for release. So let me go ahead and share my screen. I'm Dennis Baldwin. I've been involved with DroneBlocks, I guess, since 2018, and I've got to go on this amazing journey with, the DroneBlocks team, as well as many of the schools, teachers, and students along the way. So, as Clinton mentioned, the simulation, that's a key component of what we do. I think that it's important to understand and test your code before you actually deploy it on a real drone. So if you think about development in the real world, maybe in industry, mobile development, as we all know, is sort of at the front and center. Everyone has an app on their phone, and a lot of that code and testing is done in a simulated environment before that code is deployed to real hardware. And that's something we've worked really hard to replicate in our world, right? You have drones, as Clinton mentioned, flying robots, flying computers. They have all sorts of capabilities, but we really need to understand what our code does. And so that's what the DroneBlocks simulator tries to emulate, is the ability to test the code. Obviously, in block programming, we have Python simulation. So for students that take an interest in programming, I like to say that, DroneBlocks is sort of this blank canvas where you have capabilities, right, that you can see virtual drone fly, and then you can take your code to the air. Well, the blank canvas for students that are interested, as we all know, programming goes beyond just visual-based. You have text-based programming such as Python. So we've introduced Python simulation, and it's really a powerful component to be able to do that before you actually do it on real hardware. The other thing that I'll stress is very important to us as a team is community. Community is something that I've been a part of since my days in software engineering. We really rely a lot on it. We love sharing information. We love working with fellow teammates, other students that get in, really ask good questions, and then we can have inspiring conversations that ultimately lead us to really progressing sort of what happens in industry, as well as what happens in the classroom. So I encourage you, if you're not aware, join community.droneblocks.io. We're always monitoring, asking questions, or providing answers, asking questions, and sharing information there. And just recently, we've launched our Discord group, and so we have a lot of channels in here. So I don't know if we can get someone from our team to put a link, but I encourage you to jump in. There's all sorts of interesting conversations going on daily about, hey, how do you get a drone to hold position? How do I program a drone to trigger its LEDs, or maybe a servo? So the DroneBlocks Discord is a great way to get connected in real time and have conversation with us and with others. With that being said, this has sort of been a long evolution history, working with different hardware, different software, trying to bring something that we believe is hopefully relies on industry standards to introduce students, enthusiasts, hobbyists into the world of drone building and programming. So we're announcing what we're calling DEXI, the Drone for Exploration and Innovation. And the DEXI-5 right now represents, this is a drone a little bit bigger than Tello with 5-inch propellers, but becomes a reference design that we, over time, will make smaller and smaller. So we'll start with DEXI-5. We're already discussing a DEXI-3, which is a smaller drone. And what that enables us to do is really fulfill the mission of building the drone, coding, testing through simulation, and then flying. So we'd like to say, rinse and repeat, code, test, fly. That's something that we'll continue to reiterate. And we're excited about announcing this tonight. And once again, shooting for a Q1 release. What this DEXI will enable us to do is bring open source software into the space. This is a lot of R&D that is currently going on in the community. And as many of you may know, we really try to make it simple, right? To get on board, to be able to build, to understand, not only the components, the hardware components, but the software. So we're relying on open source such as PX4, which is a flight control stack, ROS, the robot operating system, and Linux, of course. As you guys know, it's all over the place. It powers a lot of the hardware that you see in the market today. So in addition to that, the open source hardware that we'll be working with are PixHawk, which is a flight controller that runs PX4, and Raspberry Pi. So Raspberry Pi will be running Linux. We'll have ROS running on top of that. And with that capability, once you build the drone, you understand it, you simulate, you have the ability to code it. And DroneBlocks, ROS enables Python and C++ and other languages to be able to not only take control navigationally for semi-autonomous flight, but we'll also be introducing LED and servo control. So you'll be able to navigate, trigger LEDs, use servos to drop and pick up things. So DEXI, the drone for innovation and exploration and innovation, this is a 101 right now prototype. We've gone through an evolution, kind of a historical evolution of trying different components, testing, finding something that we feel works really well in the classroom. And so with that being said, I'd like to thank you and just show you the prototype that we have sitting right here. So this is DEXI, once again, PX4 with PixHawk, Raspberry Pi, a camera. And what we're really focusing on is, as you're flying and as you're learning how to program, long flight times, right? So if you're familiar with the FPV market or some of the other smaller drones out there, they're very limited in flight time, maybe 3 to 5 minutes. This is all about endurance, keeping the drone in the air, keeping it stable, navigating, understanding your code, and being able to do some really interesting things. So thank you for listening to this sort of pitch on DEXI. I'm excited about what we're going to be releasing in Q1. And once again, please feel free to email me or join our community, and we'll be happy to share more details soon. Thank you.